Etheria Restart had the second Hyper Talk where they talked about so much new stuff in Etheria Restart on launch. So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello guys, my name is Will and welcome to one more video. We are talking about Etheria Restart where we had this developers talk about a lot of new stuff that we can expect on launch. So I have everything summarized on my side and I'm gonna skip most of the video because I already know where they're gonna talk about that new stuff. So the first thing they talk about is about how does anima work in RTA. So they said these animas can be collected, I'm just gonna keep this playing, animas can be collected all over the modes in Etheria Restart, and there will be a new RTA shop on launch where you can obtain dopes, alright? So it means if you play RTA, you get these points that you can spend on the shop, and then you can basically buy copies of your enemies. And with these copies you can extend them and get some more powers, some more attack percentage, defense percentage. There's a lot you can get more with those dopes. But remember, on RTA, these dopes can only be used on the PvE, not on the PvP, especially the RTA mode. The second thing they talked about was the translation issues. There was some translation issues on the beta, but now they are improving that, and they expanded the localization and improved translation as well, so we expect a much better translation and a better work on launch. Then they talked about server update, maintenance schedule, how they are planning on launch, and they also working about this, receiving all the feedback, and what they are planning is that on different server regions will be different reset times. So depending if you live in China, America, there will be a different reset time. So the best decision will be to join the closest server because it will give you a better experience. Also, some players complain about some gaps between regions, so what they are planning to do is to prevent those gaps. They decided to restrict RTA cross-region. So if you are living in a different region from another player, it means that you will not be able to play against those players. And this is to prevent any negative impact with time gating until everything is stabilized, and eventually they'll open the cross-server region RTA. The next thing they talked about is about key binding function. And about this, developer team are working on this, and they plan to provide multiple keyboard layout schemes on launch. They also talk about the gacha stats, if they are combined together and if they can be displayed separately. So this is another thing they worked, and this is another issue that is solved. So current pull stats combine all the banners, but now on launch there will be an option to display it separately, and also with the filter option through banners, so you can see more specific information about each banner and see which one you had more luck or not. Then about the PT, and this is a big one, the PT counter was not crossing over to the next banners on the beta, but on launch they planned that the PT counter for limited banners will carry over to the next banner. So it means when one of these banners finish, the PT will counter to the next one. So it means if you already did 60 summons here, that PT will cross over to the next banner, and it means you only need more 20 summons to have a guaranteed summon. And this is also because they reduced the PT from 100 to 80. And this will also count to the known light and dark banners. Players also complain about the character roles in UI, and this is because the system is very complex and sometimes is not very clear, but what they recommend on this video is that you check all the community guides. There's a lot of players, myself doing a guides about this game, characters and everything else, so make sure to have a look on their website, on their Discord. There's a lot of information and guides you can have a look. They also talk about data tracker during the battle. This is not a current option we have at the moment, so there's no current data tracking, but they are discussing about ways to implement this in the game and provide more information about battles in the future. Another big question is about enemies having a fixed resistance in battles, which is true. They clarified this question and they said they do, and the hit rate can be increased by maximum of 2 times the skill probability and reduced to a minimum of half the skill probability. Also, the fixed resistances is 10%, and the debuff success rate cannot exceed 90%. Then about stamina, some players complained that stamina allowance seems a bit low at the moment, and if there was any chance to add more ways for free players to get stamina, which this is great news as well. They are planning to work on this, and they decided to increase the free stamina acquisition from daily tasks, which means as a free-to-player you can get much more stamina than before and level up your characters much faster thanks to this. Regarding gender ratio of all the enemies, at the moment we don't have a great balance, and I think this is a big question discussed on social media, and what they are doing about this is to make sure that they will release more enemies and create a balance between each gender. After all of this, they talked about some new animals that are being released. The first one they talked about is Mew. This is a CC type character with very interesting skills. On the skill 1, you'll be able to deal single damage, which is a bit ahead, so will be this character, Mew, with a base speed of 113, this is really important. And for the skill 1, they display here using some types of gear, this one to increase the speed and accuracy as well, because of course, and speed as well, because of course you really want to hit with these skills. So the first skill deals single damage with a chance to freeze for 1 turn, which will be the first skill they are showing, this one. Then the second skill will deal damage to all enemies with a chance to freeze for 1 turn as well, so a lot of ground control here with this character. And the ultimate will deal damage to all with a chance to steal turn meter from the primary target and give that speed, that turn meter speed to all allies, alright, and then grant speed for 2 turns. So this is huge. Besides stealing the meter from one of the primary targets, it is gonna also give that turn meter speed to your allies and also speed for 2 turns to all your allies. So this character will be a big boost to your team, especially on PvP where speed is so much important. They also talked about this new character, which is Mizuki Makoto, a new character based on strength, as they say, but they only had like this teaser video about the character, but they did not talk much about it. They also teased Oyan, which is also a boss on Etheria Restart, and they just talked a little bit about this, but they didn't give us much more information about that. Besides that, we have then about team activities. This is also a big question, team activities and events in the future, which they said there will be much more events on the future they are planning to release. The first one on launch, they will be releasing a new event, which is the Shell Story, which is this one. So it's basically a story, it's a dice rolling map event where you choose your pathway, you walk through all this way on this map and collect all of these rewards. And they plan that each event will have a different art and design as well. Then they talked about GVG, so it's guild versus guild, if there's any updates about this. They said they are on the final development stage, which means it's not going to be launched on launch of the game on 5th of June, but it's going well, and it means it's also finished and probably will have this mode soon. So it's basically a team battle that you need to do with your guild all over this place. You need to conquer all these spots and probably defend some of them. We'll eventually discover more about this, as you guys can see here. You can set these 3 formations, and then you need to attack, and probably you have another phase where you need to defend, but we'll know more about this on the future. And finally, they talked about the EWS qualifications. So for the ones that don't know, during this test, the final test, there was this EWS qualification they did, and these were the players that received the global invitation for this tournament they are planning for Etheria Restart. They also said on 10:56 that on launch there will be more qualification opportunities for everyone, but they didn't talk much more about this. More information will be announced on launch. Alright guys, so this is a lot of stuff, a lot of news and things they are releasing on launch. Really happy to see all of this development and to see all of this good communication. A lot of games lack about this, giving good information to players and receive their feedback. And I think Etheria Restart is doing a great job with this. We hope they keep doing this work all over the progress of this game, and we'll see how it goes on launch. So I hope you guys are prepared for this. I'll be playing and streaming on 5th of June and playing a lot of Etheria Restart, and I hope you guys as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to follow more content about Etheria Restart, make sure to drop a follow and a like on my video. Hope you enjoyed, and see you on the next one.